Hey there, Central Ohio. I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Michael Behrens here on today's episode of the 10 Weather Impact Show. A 10 TV Weather Impact Alert Day in place as rain and wind continue this afternoon, with many heading out to trick or treat. That's the reason we're keeping a close eye on this forecast, as it will be expected to impact your evening plans. So let's go ahead and jump right into things out there. We're looking at rain and wind continuing through this afternoon. Rain should start to taper off around 6-7 o'clock tonight and then be back to dry but brisk weather as we head through the rest of the evening. Make sure you're ready for those rain showers and ready with an extra layer or two to stay warm and dry if you're heading out there this evening. The rainfall right now starting to let up at least a little bit, but we're still seeing plenty of rain activity across central Ohio. Here in Franklin County, mostly light rain showers, but it's a little bit heavier as you get over into portions of Licking County and again out toward Bell Fountain and Urbana. You see that little heavy band that stretches all the way down to just about Springfield as well this afternoon. Out to the east, had some heavier rain earlier this afternoon. Still dealing with a little bit of that up into the northern portions of Guernsey County, crossing into Tuscarawas County, but down toward Athens, things have really quieted down a little bit. A little heavier pocket of rain out toward Mount Vernon. That stretches up off toward the north and west, picks up again near Mansfield and Bucyrus, and our southern counties looking a little dry, at least for the moment. This system overall has already dropped quite a bit of rainfall here in central Ohio. You can see those colors here on the map everywhere in this green. Not excessive rainfall. You can see a radar estimate of about 0.2 inches out in Licking County. That picks up as you head into Franklin County, especially crossing I-71 up to about 0.7. You head over to London, that number gets to 1.1, and out toward Urbana, some of the heaviest rainfalls in those purples. Radar estimate there of 2.7 inches of rain in the last 24 hours. So another soaking rainfall across most of central Ohio. Pretty much everybody picking up at least some rainfall, and that rain helping to combat the dry weather we had through most of October and really the end of the summer season there. As far as what we're looking at from this system, it continues to rotate its way across central Ohio this afternoon, so we will see waves of shower activity continue. The system as a whole working its way off to the east should eventually push out as we head into this evening. You can see behind it clear skies not far away. Sun coming out Indianapolis this afternoon. That clearing will work its way into Ohio tonight, and temperatures will be cooler as we head toward tomorrow morning. Speaking of cool conditions, that's the other thing you'll have to deal with, especially if you're trick-or-treating tonight. Wind chills will be a factor. 44, what it feels like in Columbus. That's not too bad. Down to 42 in Delaware. Look at Kenton, almost 10-degree wind chill at this hour. Feels like 36 degrees for you guys. Those winds out there definitely going to pick up as we head through the afternoon. Around 5 to 10 right now in Columbus. Those gusts already up to 26 in Marion, 21 in Kenton. Those heavier areas of wind will only increase their way across central Ohio through the rest of the afternoon. The next 12 hours, rain chances again coming to an end as we head into this evening. We should see dry weather return not long after sundown, and then clearing as we head through tonight, with temperatures falling down into the low 40s and even into the 30s by the time we head toward tomorrow morning, as those clear skies let the temperatures really drop. The wind forecast out there heading through the rest of the day today expected to increase again later this afternoon. This is sustained winds around 10 to 20 miles per hour through the start of this evening. At times, those wind gusts could go as high as 30 miles per hour. We've already seen gusts in excess of 20 out there this afternoon, so don't be surprised to see that continue in the in the coming hours. As far as rain chances go, today we're holding on to that 90%, but once we get past today, we really start to dry back out. Friday, Saturday looking much nicer, staying largely dry as we head through next week as well. So let's go and time things out hour by hour for you. We see that light rainfall continue across central Ohio the next several hours. As we get toward about 5-6 o'clock, we start to see drying push into our western counties. That'll continue its way across central Ohio through the evening. If you're not trick-or-treating till, say, after 6 o'clock, you should see improving conditions out there. By the time we get to 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, o'clock. Things looking much better across central Ohio. Those skies clearing as we head through tonight. Again, temperatures falling as a result. We'll see a few more clouds as we head into the day tomorrow, but overall, not much going to come with it. Maybe a stray shower pops up somewhere in the region. That pattern repeats itself on Saturday as well. As far as rainfall yet to come, we've already really gotten the bulk of the rain across the region, but we could still pick up another 0.1, 0.2 inches before it's all said and done. But of course, all of the rainfall has gone to help the drought conditions that we did have in place. You can see here that drought last week was still impacting most of central Ohio. That has been scaled back significantly for this week, though northwestern counties is really still where most of the rain is needed, though we have gotten a pretty good soaking in some of those areas. So I think we'll see continued improvement as we head toward next week. Here's your 10 weather impact 7-day forecast. Temperatures out there 48 degrees this afternoon. 10 TV weather impact alert day remains in place because we're watching that trick or treat forecast for tonight. Again, chilly, a little wet out there early and breezy throughout the entire event. Make sure you have that extra layer to stay warm and to stay dry, especially if it's still raining. Heading toward tomorrow, looking pretty good. We'll see Friday out there with more sunshine. Football forecast Friday afternoon. No problems out there. Just another chilly fall night for that postseason high school football in the 40s by halftime. And then, of course, Buckeyes on Saturday should be good to go, kicking off with temperatures in the 50s. We'll see those temperatures continue to climb as we head through the weekend, working its way back up into the 60s by the time we head toward next week, with dry weather largely continuing across the region. Again, good news out there for those of you with weekend plans or if you're trick-or-treating tomorrow. The forecast looking much better, but of course for tonight, got to dodge those rain showers out there. And again, many of those trick-or-treaters will brave that rain and the wind chill tonight. Some communities, though, did postpone their trick-or-treating because of the weather. That does include the city of Circleville. City posted on Facebook saying that its citywide trick-or-treat will now be Saturday, November 1st. Mayor Michelle Blanton says safety comes first. They wanted everyone to have fun in dry conditions. Also, the village of Lithopolis posted that its trick-or-treat had been rescheduled because of the rain. It'll now happen tomorrow, Friday at 6 p.m. Tricks or Treats concert that was supposed to happen today is also canceled. Of course, even with the rain and the chill in the air, there's still many events going on tonight, not all of them canceled. And if you are heading out with your family, of course, you want to make sure you keep everyone safe. 10 TV News reporter Kira Lake has some reminders from safety experts that you and your little goblins and ghouls should know as you head out this evening.
AAA says try to have your kids wear light-colored clothing. The nonprofit Safe Kids Worldwide says children are more than twice as likely to be hit by a car on Halloween compared to any other day of the year. Also, make sure kids stay on sidewalks, use crosswalks, and follow traffic signals when crossing the street. And if your child is wearing a mask, make sure the eye holes are big enough so they can see properly. Especially with all the rain tonight, they'll want to see where they're going. Columbus Police Chief Elaine Bryant says you and your family should feel safe on the hunt for candy tonight.
That's our utmost importance, to make sure that we're keeping our community safe. As you know, we had our trunk or treat this past Sunday. We had an amazing turnout. So we just want to make sure that all the communities feel safe and the children are able to go out and be able to celebrate.
Thanks, Akira, for that report. Also, remember, if you're driving, make sure you're keeping an eye out for those trick-or-treaters and go slow. Make sure safety is your top priority tonight and through the Halloween holiday. And of course, to keep track of all the trick-or-treat times and how the weather will impact your night ahead, text us. We'll give you the information. Text BOO to 614-460-3345. We'll send you a list of trick-or-treat times across central Ohio right to your phone. And continuing with the Halloween vibes, pumpkins, of course, a favorite and familiar Halloween decoration this time of the year, but their scraps can actually be bad for the environment. According to the Department of Energy, more than 1 billion pounds of pumpkin waste end up in landfills each year, releasing methane, a powerful greenhouse gas, as they break down. Environmental experts say you can give your jack-o'-lantern a sustainable afterlife by either eating or donating it, as well as composting what is left.
Composting anything organic is better than throwing it out, because you're not creating more refuse in landfills, you're not creating methane gas, and it's better for your compost pile to have more organic material in it.
Before composting, experts say remove any candles, plastic, or glitter or other decorations from the pumpkin for a faster decomposition. And one more thing to keep in mind after celebrating Halloween this weekend, don't forget to turn your clocks back. Daylight saving time ends Sunday, and our clocks will fall back 1 hour at 2 a.m. The time change comes as our days continue to get shorter and the nights longer. With the official start of winter not far away, daylight saving time ends on the first Sunday in November, which again, just a couple days from now. Hawaii, most of Arizona, and some territories in the Pacific and Caribbean do not observe daylight saving time. Now let's get you up to date on the latest with the tropics and Hurricane Melissa. It's been a powerful storm working its way across the region over the past several days and still remains a strong storm at this hour. You can see a Category 2 storm there now as it gets closer to Bermuda, about 430 miles west-southwest of Bermuda at this hour. You can see the hurricane warnings up there for the island. Winds right now gusting to 125, sustained at 105. And still very powerful, with a pressure of 964. You can almost see it kind of regain some eye structure here in the past several scans. The forecast with this continues to take it well up into the Atlantic, moving close to Bermuda there before weakening and moving its way up past St. John's and eventually into the North Atlantic in the days ahead. This remains the only storm we're currently watching in the tropics, as everything else remains rather quiet with no areas of formation expected for now. The forecast here again tracking that storm well up past the East Coast, not expected to make any landfall here in the U.S., which is some good news. We should avoid that storm. The season so far, a lot of activity, especially when it comes to major hurricanes. Melissa was at one point a Category 5, now weakened to that Category 2. But compare that to the forecast for this year, and well, we've had 13 stormed so far, named storms. That's well in the forecast. Only 5 of them have been hurricanes, so that's a little bit below. But what's notable, 4 of those 5 have been major. That's above average and right in the middle of this season's forecast. So we'll keep a close eye on what the rest of the season has in store, but we should be starting to enter more of a quiet time for the tropics. Of course, though, like we said, Melissa's still a Category 2 storm and remains a threat to areas like Bermuda, but it has already left a trail of destruction down in places like Cuba and Jamaica. This video here showing the aftermath of the storm in El Cobre, Cuba, in the province of Santiago de Cuba, about 18 kilometers from the provincial capital. It was one of the areas most affected by Hurricane Melissa. It's home to some 7,000 people and the site of a famous basilica, the Basilica of Our Lady of Charity, patron saint of Cuba. That basilica impacted by the hurricane. Hurricane Melissa had a great impact on the town of El Cobre and in the sanctuary in terms of its carpentry, stained glass, and walls. That was according to parish priest Rogelio de Puerta, as he told the AP. Many people lost their homes and buildings, and the town again suffering a lot of damage as that system moved through. Power outages and internet outages were also reported in the area as the island continues to struggle with an energy crisis. And just before hitting Cuba, Melissa devastated multiple countries from Haiti and the Dominican Republic to Jamaica. That storm blamed for at least 28 deaths in the region. CBS's News' Jason Allen has more from Jamaica's capital of Kingston.
The people of Jamaica are picking up the pieces after Hurricane Melissa, as nearly 80% of the island nation still doesn't have power.
This is all the damage. Roof has gone, clothes has wet up, and all those stuff. I need some help. Please, I need some help.
From the air, devastation and ruin as far as the eye can see. Similar scenes playing out in eastern Cuba. People there combing through what's left after hurricane-force winds reduced homes and buildings to rubble, trying to salvage what they can, even in communities still completely flooded. Back in Jamaica, we traveled to Santa Cruz, about 2 hours west of Kingston. The town's one working front-end loader shoved mud off the only major roadway connecting this community to hard-hit Black River. Local politician Delroy Slowly.
I drove around, and it's really a horrible thing. This is the strongest storm we've ever seen. But in all of it, we still have to give God thanks for it. It could have been worse.
How could this have been worse?
Lives, many lives could have been lost. You see, properties can be replaced, but it's one life you have.
At St. Elizabeth Technical High School.
The students and teachers at this high school, they sheltered in one of the concrete buildings on campus, but this is one of their classrooms. The roof ripped off in the winds, and the walls, they are all piled on top of the desks and chairs where they would have been sitting on a normal day.
While the school is in recovery mode for now, Principal Keith Wellington is determined to give his students the support they need.
It's not even just about school and getting to do their exams, but the period of socialization, what they go through when they're at school with their friends, it helps them mentally. So it's important that we get back to some level of normalcy.
Jason Allen, CBS News in Kingston, Jamaica.
And finally today, let's check out some new video into us here at 10 TV. Speaking of that hurricane, a camera on the International Space Station captured views of Hurricane Melissa as it went over Cuba on Wednesday morning. Melissa, of course, made landfall earlier in the day Wednesday as a Category 3 storm on that island. According to the National Hurricane Center, it also pummeled Jamaica Tuesday as one of the strongest hurricanes in the Atlantic on record as a powerful Category 5. You can see just how amazingly large that particular storm was and continues to be as it moves its way through the Atlantic. And finally, a little bit of better news here as people raced large hollowed out pumpkins. This was across a pond in parts of Belgium. This was Sunday. The annual event features teams competing in a relay race of 109 yards using huge pumpkin boats. Organizers hollow out the giant gourds using power tools and then test them for buoyancy prior to the races. Kind of an interesting Halloween-themed activity. One, I didn't know you could find that many giant pumpkins, but two, I suppose they would be pretty floatable. And looks like they're having a great time racing those pumpkins there across that lake. Speaking of having a great time outside in the water, well, you got to if you're heading out tonight for Halloween. We're going to be tracking all the latest activity for those trick-or-treaters tonight when it comes to our rain chances, our wind chances, and of course those colder temperatures moving in. We'll have that later tonight. Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz will be here to break it all down. Until then, you can catch more news and weather online at 10tv.com. Have a great afternoon.